my friend,
My name is Rex Murray.
and we will to show you how to ask the multimeter. But first, we move to the next slide is what we discussed in this video. It was introduced preliminary, although analog or digital photo and the video. This is my name and Marissa name. And now we move to the method. Of multimeter. A multimeter is a measuring instrument that can measure several electrical properties. A typical multimeter can measure voltage, resistance, and current, in which case it also known as a volt, ohm, millimeter, or volt, because it's equipped with voltmeter, ammeter, and ohmmeter functionality. Some additional property measure features such as temperature and capacity. Our goal, understanding of material, so that the audience can understand more clearly about the material of measure multimeter, both digital or analog, and how to ask the calculation of this measure instrument. And now I want to explain about analog multimeter. Analog multimeter is a type of multimeter that uses a measuring display or meter with a pointer type. So, to read the measurement result must be done by looking at the position of the pointer on the meter and looking at the position of the selector switch at the position of the measuring limit, then doing calculation manually to get the measurement result. The condition or process of reading the measure result that are still manual is what causes this type of multimeter or multitester to be called analog multimeter.
So multimeter digital. Digital multimeter or of origin and free into as a digital multimeter is the essentiality of multimeter to us digital is great is and great of measuring resistance and measurement and this kind of digital multimeter. Because I really offend people. So this is not to improve between
Udah bikin dua rumah. Udah. Terus gini kamu bilang this the picture.
Photo multimeter. The left
Is multimeter digital.
is multimeter digital
And the right
and the right
is multimeter analog.
is multimeter analog.
Of multimeter analog. First is a scala as a meter reading scale on the scale board. There are reading values for each measure value scale, such as for the resistance measurement value, the AC voltage measurement value, the DC voltage measure value, or the electric current measurement value. 2 is knife edge pointer, serve as a indication of the magnitude of the measured value. In analog multimeters, a mirror is often added to the scale board so that the reading on the meter needle is more accurate. 3 is a zero adjusting screw, analog multimeter component that functions to just the position of the pointer by turning the screw to the right or the left using a small flat screwdriver. The goal is to get the right position between the value is 0 on the scale and the position of the needle. 4 is a ring selector switch for multimeter component that serve to select the type or level of measurement according to the need of the time of measurement. 5 is negative pole is the place to attack the negative test lead or mean, namely the black point cable. 6 is the role of adjusting knob, position control knob, and the position of the pointer in the zero position for all measurement. This scroll is used when measuring the ohm value on resistance, namely the connecting the two test lead or plus lead connect to the test lead is a min or black, and turning the control knob to the right or the left so that the needle position is right on the zero position. 7. Positive pole hole is the place to install the position plus test lead, namely the red probe cable. 8 is test lead negative. The multimeter probe where is the black which indicates the negative position at the end is attached to the negative pole of the multimeter. The negative test lead is as the measurement on the workplace. Last is the test lead position. The multimeter probe where there is a red which indicates the position plus in the positive position at the end. It is attached to the positive pole hole of the multimeter. The positive test lead is also used to measurement on the workplace. And this part of multimeter digital. First is display where measurement without to be viewed. 2 is display for select various functions that often vary by model. 3 is dial or rotary switch for selecting primary measurement value or volt, amp, and ohm. 4 is input jack where test leads are inserted. 5 is probe servers to insert the Y and guide the N with a rotary press arrangement for specific testing and troubleshooting. And now we show you how to adjust the multimeter analog and the digital.
How to measure voltage with dot in analog multimeter and a digital multimeter.
How to measure alternating voltage ACV with an analog multimeter.
Make sure the positive probe cable is plugged into the positive socket and the negative probe cable is plugged into the negative socket. Then change the voltmeter selector to ACV with the highest voltage limit. Third, there is no rule regarding the use of probe cable to electric poles because alternative voltage do not have electric pole. Or after each probe wire is connected to the voltage source to be measured. If there is no movement of the selector, needle change the ACV selector with a smaller limit. 6. Do the fifth step until the pointer moves to point to the number on the scale board. 7. Pay attention to the indicate number and record the number on the scale board as the ACV scale board to read the measurement. 8. Measurement result can be calculated.
How to use a digital multimeter. Measure AC voltage.
120 AC with positive and 2 let's continue to digital multimeter back negative to come and right positive 3 and 3 let's continue of the cable to
How to measure direct voltage DVV with an analog multimeter.
Make sure the positive probe cable is plugged into the positive socket and the negative probe cable is plugged into the negative socket. Second, change the voltmeter selector to DCV, the high voltage limit. The positive probe cable is connected to a positive voltage source and vice versa, the negative probe cable is connected to a negative voltage source. After each probe wire is connected to the voltage source to be measured, pay attention to measuring needle. If measuring needle has not moved, turn the selector towards the CV with a smaller limit. Six, do the fifth step until the pointer moves to point to the number on the scale board. 7. Pay attention to the indicate number and record the number on the scale board as the V or DCV scale board to the read.
Using a digital multimeter. Measuring DC voltage.
1 2 and 3 with P and position and 2 let's late continue to digital multimeter back negative to come and read number 3 and test cable continue to DC voltage and press back to negative signal.
Advantages and disadvantages of digital and analog multimeters.
Advantages and disadvantages of digital multimeter.
Multimeter AC air us means the when do you need to calculate and the volt where are measuring members you a digital multimeter measuring and the measurement result immediately and the press relatively more exciting. This is package of digital multimeter. The call to us to measure the metal compost and such as transistor and so on. In our case, course we show some testing and counting. We employ interior industry and with digital multimeter to make it a screen to read multimeter.
Advantages and disadvantages of analog multimeters.
Advantage of analog multimeter for easier checking of circuit or component damage. Relatively cheaper price. Disadvantage of analog multimeter. Use formula certain for calculate the value the needle is pointing to, prone to damage on the spool or pointer needle. As a great accuracy in measurement, unfortunately, it is not used in industry.